These are the top 10 reasons to move to Las Vegas, and make sure you stick around till the end because number 9 is the most unique one of them all. Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is Jerry Abbott, your Las Vegas realtor. Hey, before we dive into the video, I just want to let you guys know if this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about the Las Vegas real estate market or anything to do about living in Las Vegas, this is the channel for you. I'm going to bring you videos every single week, so if you could just subscribe to the channel, click the little bell notification next to it, and give me a thumbs up like. That would really help me out. Honestly, I get people reaching out to me every single week here about moving to Las Vegas, and I absolutely love it. So if you're interested in looking at possibly buying a home here in Las Vegas, I am your guy. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. Just call, text, or email me anytime. So let's dive right into the top 10 reasons as to why you should be moving to Las Vegas. Number 1 on the list is entertainment. And in case you didn't know it, Las Vegas has been known as the city of entertainment. It's a city that never sleeps, and as you can see, you can do a lot of great things down here on the Las Vegas Strip where all the action is. You can take in fine dining at the restaurants, you can go to concerts, you can gamble. There's so many things to do. You can people watch out on the Strip, you can take in different sporting events. All different types of things are happening down here on the Strip. It makes it such an exciting city, especially for residents, because the people that actually live here, if they live on the outskirts of town, they have maybe a 15-20 minute drive at most just to come into all this action. So you get to actually live and play in the city that is actually the place that you live in. So it's a great place because everything is so consolidated that you feel like you could actually vacation and live in the city all at one time. So entertainment is a really big fun factor for living in this city. So number 2 on the list of top 10 reasons as to why you should move to Las Vegas is that there's no state income tax. And what that means is when you get your paycheck, you don't get that state income tax taken out like you do in about 43 other states in this country. And that means more money in your pocket. The bottom line, especially now during the pandemic time that we've just gone through, is that we want to try to hold on as much money as possible. So to me, when I moved out here, it was kind of a no-brainer because when you move to a state that doesn't have a state income tax, it allows you to have more money. That's the best thing. Also, too, Las Vegas has a low cost of living. So that kind of combination between a low cost of living and no state income tax really helps to put more money in your pocket, which is a really important factor for living in this city. Number 3 on the list of top 10 reasons as to why you should move to Las Vegas is location. And as you can see here on the map shows you that we're pretty close to a lot of major cities here. So if you go over to Los Angeles, San Diego, Salt Lake City, Utah, Phoenix, or even down in Mexico, these are basically about 4 to 6 hour drives in a car and no more than about an hour or so in an airplane ride. So you really have a lot of convenience by living in this one hub area because Las Vegas also too is coming out of McCarran Airport. That's the central airport here. And that airport is very easy to get in and out of, unlike a lot of other cities. It's centrally located. Usually doesn't take people more than 15 or 20 minutes to get over to the airport here. And you've got very close major cities here in proximity to Las Vegas. So location here is actually really beneficial. So number 4 on the list of top 10 reasons as to why you should be living in Las Vegas is the weather. And as you can see, it is beautiful and sunny here just about every single day. There's over 300 plus days of sunshine per year, and I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you come from a bad weather city where there's a lot of rain and a lot of snow, you really might want to consider moving to Las Vegas just for the weather. Ever since I moved out here, I just feel like I'm always in a better mood because the weather and the sunshine and the warmth just makes you feel better than being in the rain and the cold. So if you're ever interested in moving to Las Vegas, one of the bigger factors, believe it or not, especially as you get a little bit older, is you'll want to be in that warm sunshine. So definitely consider moving to Las Vegas just from the weather alone. So number 5 on the list of top 10 reasons you should be moving to Las Vegas is the cost of living. The cost of living in Las Vegas is a lot cheaper than most of the major metropolitan cities in this country. And if you take a look at the 2-minute video that I pre-recorded, you're going to see right now how much further your dollar goes in a place like Las Vegas compared to other major metro cities like Los Angeles and Chicago. So check that video out now. Okay guys, I want you to take a look at this. This is the NerdWallet cost of living calculator. To me, this is a very important factor to try to figure out how far your money can get you depending on where you currently live to where you're going to move to. So I put in the first box up here, Los Angeles, California. Now you could put in whatever city you live in currently. The middle box we put in Las Vegas because that's where you're thinking about moving to. And then for income, I just put in $50,000 as just kind of a middle average salary. When you look at this number right here in the middle, the $34,730, What this basically means is you need to only make about $35,000 a year in Las Vegas to equal the $50,000 a year that you need to make in Los Angeles, California. So it's 31% lower cost of living in Las Vegas compared to California in Los Angeles, where you need to make that same equivalent of $50,000. If you go down a little bit further, you can take a look at some of the pricing here on real estate. Now, if you look at the average price point here in Los Angeles, it's $827,000 for an average home. That's a big number. In Vegas, they're calculating it at $441,000, but that's really the metro Las Vegas area. It's really in the mid to low 300s pretty much. So again, there's a very big difference between living in Los Angeles versus Las Vegas. If you go down a little further here, you can see transportation costs 12% lower, food costs 18% lower, entertainment costs 16% lower, healthcare costs 10% lower. So you can see pretty much it's a lot cheaper to live in Las Vegas than it is Los Angeles. Now let's go up to this box one more time here, and let's just type in Chicago. Okay, let's say you're in the Midwest, you can't stand the winters anymore. You want to go from Chicago to Las Vegas, and we're still going to keep the $50,000. Well, now the number is now $42,000 a year, which pretty much means you only need to make 42 grand a year in Las Vegas compared to the 50,000 that you need to be making in Chicago. So it's a 16% lower cost of living, even if you're coming from Chicago when you're moving to Las Vegas. And again, if you come here on the median home price, in Chicago, it's about $514,000. Again, Vegas is $441,000, but that's still really kind of inflated. So you're talking a good $100,000+ lower for an average price point compared to Chicago. And again, if you go down a little further here, you got transportation 11% lower, 9% lower on food costs, 14% lower on entertainment, and that's pretty much all you really need to factor in when you're taking a look at this calculator. Wherever you're coming from, most of the time, if you're going to be moving to Las Vegas, it is definitely a cheaper cost of living. So that right there, guys, is showing you the biggest advantage as to why you should be moving to Las Vegas compared to other places like Los Angeles or Chicago. You definitely get more bang for your buck being in a place like Las Vegas, because not only is it a tax-friendly state overall, the cost of living is cheaper. So if you're considering moving to Las Vegas and you live in one of these other major metro areas, or even if you just live in a regular place, Las Vegas still is a great major metropolitan city to live in because the overall cost of living is cheaper than most of the major metropolitan cities in this country. So number 6 on the list of top 10 reasons you should be moving to Las Vegas is a combination of two things here. I'm combining it as real estate being affordable and low property taxes. And let me explain that. First of all, real estate here compared to other major metropolitan cities, as you can see, are very expensive in other cities. But when you think about Las Vegas, the average price point here at the beginning of February is a little over $300,000, which is still very, very affordable compared to some of these other major metropolitan cities. You can live in a new construction home, you can live in a resale home. It doesn't matter where you want to live in the city. Real estate here is very affordable. It just depends on what your budget is. The other thing too that's a really big factor here is that we have low property taxes. So not only do we have no state income tax, we also have low property taxes. And when you have that combined also with a low cost of living, it's just the best combination in the world for you to put more money and keep more money in your pocket. So definitely consider that when moving to Las Vegas. So number 7 on the list of top 10 reasons you should be moving to Las Vegas is we finally have professional sports. Yes, after many, many years of not having professional sports teams here, we finally have it. We have the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which was the original professional NHL hockey team that came here, and everyone absolutely loves and adores the Golden Knights here in Las Vegas. And now we've got the world famous Las Vegas Raiders that used to be in California. We now have the Las Vegas Raiders and the gorgeous new Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. So professional sports here is a very big deal. A lot of people want that obviously in the city they live in, and we finally got it. So number 8 on the list of top 10 reasons you should move to Las Vegas is that your friends and family will come to visit you more than ever. I notice it's a little bit of a weird thing, but I noticed that the luxury of living in Las Vegas is that everybody always loves to come to Las Vegas just because of the reputation of the city. So I've had friends that I haven't even seen for many years come and visit, and I've actually seen people that I haven't seen in a long time that just come to the city that look me up, and I end up seeing people that I've never seen really for like even years. Then my closer friends and of course my family that come, It's just a great feeling to know that a lot of people want to always come to Las Vegas so that you don't actually have to do a lot of the traveling to them. They come to you. It seems a little bit weird, but it's actually a great luxury of living in this city because it's such a tourist destination that friends and family will always try to find a reason to come to Las Vegas, and that's a great perk of living here. So number 9 on the list of top 10 reasons you should be moving to Las Vegas is the trade shows, conventions, special events, and expos that all come here every year. What's really cool about living in Las Vegas, and one of the big perks of living here, is that because Las Vegas is such a huge travel destination, it's one of the most popular travel destinations in the world, all of these major companies and special events come to Las Vegas, which means they come to your backyard. You don't have to travel. So you can find out the schedule in advance, and depending on the ones that are open to the public, you could go to a gun show, you can go to a car show, you can go to a fitness show. There's all different events that you can go to here. Some of them obviously you can't because they're for industry insiders, but there's so many events and expos that come here that are open to the public. That's a really cool perk of living here because you get to see all the new stuff in advance, and they again come to your backyard. They come to Las Vegas. That's a great perk to living in this city, and I think it's one of the most unique things about being able to live here, to have access to that. So number 10 on the list of top 10 reasons you should be moving to Las Vegas is that if you're single or retired, it's a great place to live. When I moved here nearly 20 years ago, I thought it was a great place then, and I still think it's a great place today. I've met a lot of wonderful people out here, and if you're retired, take a look at this list right here. This shows you that number 1 and number 5 on the list, number 5 obviously is Las Vegas, but number 1 is Henderson. That's the city right next door to Las Vegas. 2 of the top 10 cities in Las Vegas are basically the top cities for retirees. There's a lot of great things to do here. Again, it's a low tax state. It's got a lot of wonderful retirement activities to do here. And again, of course, the weather is wonderful. So if you ever want to be here as a single person or a retiree, Las Vegas is a great place to end up. So there you have it, guys. That's my top 10 reasons as to why you should be moving to Las Vegas. If you can think of any other reasons, definitely drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. I hope you guys found this information helpful. If you're thinking about relocating out here and you're looking to find that perfect dream home, definitely reach out to me. I'm a local realtor here. I've lived here for nearly 20 years. I know every inch of this city. It'd be my honor to help you find that perfect dream home. Just call, text, or email me anytime, and I'll see you in the next video.